us, Vince. You're standing for the European elections for the Labour Party. Over the last few weeks in the whole of East of England, how's things been going?
Well, first of all, I've really enjoyed it. As you know from me, I really enjoy going out campaigning, and this has been a wonderful opportunity to campaign across the region, going to places I've campaigned in before, like Ipswich I was in yesterday, but going places that I hadn't been before. I was over in St Neots in Huntingdon, not in Cornwall, a couple of weeks ago, and it was really great to get out there, talk to Labour voters across the region, and also as well work with Labour members across the region as well, because I think sometimes it's very easy to just think about our area and not think about sort of the larger region. So I've really enjoyed it. The response has been, generally positive. Of course, whenever you're canvassing, you're going to meet people who are against and who are for, but generally it's been positive. And because of the nature of these elections, what's been really fun actually is getting into some really good conversations with people. I think people are really engaged in this one and want to talk to you about politics.
Like what? What have been the top of conversations? I mean, there's been the obvious one. It's not even an elephant in the room, isn't it?
No, of course not.
But what else? What
well,
else?
absolutely. I mean, obviously, people are talking about Brexit. People are talking about the fact that these elections have come along, and unexpectedly almost. Unexpectedly is not quite the right word, but of course, we're 3 years on from the referendum, and we are still in the European Union, and that is why we are having these elections. I suppose the other big thing that people have spoken about, because it's been so massive in the news recently, has been about climate change, and I'm really pleased to hear the Labour Party kind of leading on that, talking about making sure that we're carbon neutral by 2030, and talking about getting 60% renewable energy as well. So I'm really pleased that the Labour Party are leading on green issues on this, and I always say that actually we want to be in a situation where we don't need a Green Party, because the Labour Party leads the way on environmental issues, and I'm pleased that the Labour Party have embraced kind of the real concern that the younger generation have had, and I'm a teacher, and it's a genuine concern, and they're right to be concerned, and I'm glad that the Labour Party has taken that on board.
Can we take it back to Brexit for a second?
I thought you would, yeah.
Yeah, call me old-fashioned. People have pointed out, there you are, there's a picture of you and Alex Mayer with a big Remain red poster, etc. But when it came to, how would you say this? When it comes to when you're in Harlow and the subject of being Remain, how do you stand the accusation that you're being a little bit shy about discussing that?
Well, look, the honest of that is, I'm not sure about my views. I mean, you and I have discussed it. It was a decision I had to make. I voted Remain in 2016. I campaigned for Remain in 2016, including in Harlow, in fact. Before I even moved here, I was outside the railway station handing out leaflets for Remain. So that position has always been known to a certain extent. We also have to bear in mind that these elections are bigger than just Harlow. They are across the whole of the region. And you're talking to people across a region and who are concerned about Brexit, and they're right to be concerned about Brexit. I would say my personal position and my feeling and the party's feeling is that what we need to do first and foremost is get a Labour government. That's no surprise that I want that, and then actually look at negotiating a deal that's better than the one that Theresa May has put on the table, and then bring that to the people and say, this is the option that we're giving you. And I don't see that as being too controversial to say you voted for Leave in 2016, but actually people voted Leave for very different reasons, and people wanted very different things from leaving the EU. So actually negotiate a deal, bring with the things that the red lines, if you like, the Labour Party have in terms of workers' rights and close alignment to the customs union, and actually then going to the people and saying, this is the deal we've got. Are you happy with that deal? And obviously, if the answer is no, then we will remain in the EU, because that we don't want what would be an absolute disaster, which would be a no-deal Brexit.
The elections are tomorrow, Thursday, and the count goes on Sunday. What would you gauge as success, and what would you gauge as failure?
I was going to just to finish on my final question, because you did ask me about the sort of how that's gone down in Harlow. I've been very honest with people as well in my ward in Little Parliament Hare Street, particularly because I've done a lot of canvassing in it, as I always do, about my views on that. And people can may disagree and they may agree, but actually they are Labour voters. In terms of success for me, I'd love to stand here in a week's time and be the MEP for the Eastern Region. I'm second on the list, so I think there's a real chance there. I'm not saying that's going to be necessarily the benchmark for success, but it'd be a wonderful place to be, where actually Alex Mayer, who's a fantastic MEP, if we can get her elected, but it'd be particularly great if we can get myself elected as well. Obviously, it'd be great for me. I'd love to do it. I'd love to be part of, showing what Labour can do for the whole of the Eastern Region in the European Parliament. But it'd be great to take a little bit of the burden off Alex as well, because at the moment we've got a situation where we've got three. We did have. I know they've kind of changed parties, but we did have three UKIP MEPs who weren't overly well, obviously aren't pro-European, therefore weren't particularly putting in the effort that she was putting in across the region. So it'd be great to be in a situation where I could take some of that work from her. But we will see how it goes. I'm always optimistic, but as I say, we'll see how it goes tomorrow.